My name is Diego, and I was there when Lily's story changed forever. It was a crisp autumn afternoon on October 15th, 2023, in a bustling park downtown where the leaves danced under the soft breeze. Lily, radiant as ever, stood by the fountain, her laughter mingling with the distant sounds of traffic. But beneath that joyful exterior lay the weight of betrayal. Her heart felt heavy as she faced the reality of her crumbling marriage to her ex-husband, a man she once thought would stand by her side. She smiled at passers-by, but her eyes betrayed her. They shimmered with unspoken pain. The fresh scent of grass filled the air, yet it felt tainted, as if the very ground beneath her was seeping with sorrow. How can blood turn to poison like this? What nobody knew was that the truth about her ex-husband was lurking just beneath the surface, ready to shatter her world once again. As she tried to gather her thoughts, she remembered the recent conversation about a family-planned hire, a position that would help ease some of the burdens she had been carrying. It was a step toward reclaiming her life, a chance to surround herself with supportive people who would uplift her in this difficult time. But as she stood there, torn between hope and despair, the shadows of her past loomed larger, threatening to overshadow any chance of a brighter future. The sun peeked through the kitchen window, casting a warm glow over the space where Lily stood, her fingers stained with vibrant colors. The smell of fresh grass wafted in from the open window, mingling with the scent of pancakes sizzling on the stove. She was in her element, surrounded by the chaos of her family's laughter and the distant hum of traffic outside. This was her sanctuary, a whirlwind of love and tradition that filled her heart with strength. Lily was a talented artist, celebrated in her vibrant multicultural neighborhood. Every year, she participated in local art fairs, showcasing her work that echoed her family's journey. This year was particularly special. Her cousin's wedding was just around the corner, and she poured her heart into a custom painting that embodied love and unity. It was a piece she hoped would not only be a gift, but a symbol of their family's bond. "Lily, are you almost done?" Rachel called from the dining room, her voice dripping with impatience. The kitchen was alive with the sounds of clattering dishes and the lively chatter of relatives preparing for the impending celebration. Rachel had always been envious of Lily's artistic talent, often trying to belittle her achievements with snide remarks. "I just need to finish the details," Lily replied, her voice steady, even as the familiar sting of her sister's jealousy pricked at her confidence. She focused on the canvas, her brush gliding smoothly over the surface, capturing the essence of their shared memories. "Okay, but hurry up." "We need to get ready," Rachel insisted, her tone sharp. "You know how Mom gets when things aren't perfect." "Oh my God, I can't believe how much she stresses over every little thing," Lily muttered under her breath, shaking her head as she continued to paint. The warmth from the stove wrapped around her like a comforting embrace, but the tension from Rachel's words lingered in the air. As she added the final strokes to the painting, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Her heart sank at the thought that her family might not fully appreciate her efforts. She had always put them first, but it often felt like she was invisible, overshadowed by the expectations they placed on her. That moment in the kitchen changed everything. "Lily, can you come help us set up the decorations?" her mom called, her voice bright and cheerful. "Sure, I'll be right there," Lily responded, setting her brush down reluctantly. She wiped her hands on a towel, trying to shake off the uncertainty that had settled in her chest. As she stepped into the dining room, the sight of her family bustling about filled her with both pride and frustration. They were all so focused on the wedding that it felt as if her painting was just another item on the to-do list. It stung more than she expected. "Wow, Lily, that painting looks amazing!" David, her loyal friend, exclaimed as he walked in, his smile lighting up the room. He had always been her biggest supporter, encouraging her to embrace her talent. "Thanks, David. I just hope they like it," she said, her voice trailing off. "Are you kidding? They'll love it. You put your heart into it," he reassured her, leaning against the wall with that familiar confidence that made her feel seen. Yeah, but sometimes I wonder if they really see me, Lily confessed, her gaze drifting back to the painting. It's like I'm just the artist, not part of the family. David crossed the room to her side, his expression earnest. You are part of the family, Lily. Just because you're not always in the spotlight doesn't mean your contributions are any less important. You have a strength that they can't ignore. She appreciated his words, but a nagging doubt lingered. As they began to help with the decorations, Lily's mind whirled with thoughts of how her family often overlooked her, even when she tried her best to stand out. The smell of pancakes mixed with the floral decorations, creating an odd blend of comfort and confusion. In the kitchen, it hurt like strength. After a few hours of frantic preparation, the house transformed into a dazzling venue for the wedding. Lily stood back, taking in the vibrant colors, the laughter, and the energy. But as the guests began to arrive, she felt a creeping sense of dread. It was one thing to be part of the celebration, it was another to realize that she was expected to serve rather than enjoy. "Lily!" Rachel called out again, a smirk playing on her lips. "Can you help with the drinks and make sure you wear that cute apron I bought you?" Lily's heart raced. "Wait, what do you mean by that?" Rachel shrugged, feigning innocence. "Oh, I just thought it would be perfect for you to serve everyone. You know, like a special touch for the wedding." A wave of disbelief washed over Lily. "You want me to be a servant at my own family's wedding?" Her voice rose, catching David's attention. "Come on, it's just a bit of fun. It'll make you part of the day," Rachel retorted, but Lily felt her resolve solidify. "No, I won't do that," Lily said firmly, her heart pounding with newfound determination. "I am not just the artist, I am a member of this family, and I deserve to enjoy this day too." Rachel's eyes widened, and for a moment, the air hung heavy with tension. "Lily, don't make this a big deal," Rachel warned, but Lily could see the flicker of fear in her sister's eyes. "I can't believe this." "You all planned for me to be the one serving, instead of celebrating with you," Lily said, her voice steady but filled with emotion. And in that moment, as the sounds of laughter echoed around her, she realized it was time to change the plan. Lily gazed out the window. "What a beautiful day," she whispered. Mark noticed her distant look. "You seem lost in thought." The air was thick with the scent of fresh grass as Lily stepped onto the porch, the sun warming her skin while a gentle breeze whispered through the trees. Her heart raced, still reeling from the revelation that had shattered her day. Just hours before, her mother had casually dropped the bombshell, laughing about how they'd hired Lily to serve at her cousin's wedding. "Oh my God, can you believe it?" her mother had exclaimed, the words accompanied by the chuckles of relatives. Lily felt her heart sink at the laughter that followed, a wave of humiliation washing over her. Sinking into one of the wicker chairs, she felt the coolness of the metal against her fingers, a stark contrast to the warmth of the day. How could they think she'd be happy to play the part of a servant at a celebration meant for family? She had always put her family first, yet here she was, reduced to a mere footnote in their plans. Fighting back tears, she glanced towards her art studio, a place where she could escape the expectations that seemed to suffocate her. As she stepped inside, the familiar smell of paint and linseed oil enveloped her, a comforting embrace that reminded her of who she once aspired to be. She moved to the corner where an old painting lay covered in dust, its colors muted yet vibrant in her memories. It was a landscape of rolling hills and a bright blue sky, a piece that had once symbolized her dreams of traveling and experiencing life beyond the confines of her family's expectations. As she brushed the dust away, she couldn't help but recall the dreams she had, dreams that now felt so distant. "What happened to you, Lily?" she whispered to herself. The painting reminded her of the artist she wanted to be, not just the daughter, the sister, or the servant. Later that week, at a community gathering, she found herself speaking with an elderly woman named Agnes, whose silver hair glimmered in the soft evening light. The warmth of fresh coffee lingered in the air as they sat at a table, distant traffic humming in the background. Agnes had shared her own stories of familial duty and the struggle to pursue personal aspirations. "You know, dear," Agnes said, her voice steady yet gentle, "I once lost myself in my family's expectations too, but I realized that my life is my own to live." Lily felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. "But how do you break free? It feels impossible," she admitted, her voice trembling. Agnes looked deeply into her eyes. "You simply start by believing you deserve to pursue your own happiness. It's not easy, but it's the most important journey you can take." As they spoke, Lily's mind raced with thoughts of what she could do. The seed of rebellion had been planted. She imagined herself standing tall, confronting her family, reclaiming her life and identity. That night, while lying in bed, she mulled over her options. The thought of standing up for herself filled her with a mix of dread and exhilaration. She could no longer be the invisible sister, the one who always put others first. The thought of confronting Rachel, who had perpetually undermined her, sent a shiver down her spine. Would she be strong enough to face the inevitable backlash? The next day, she stood on the porch again, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. The sun was shining brighter, and she could hear laughter from the backyard, where her family had gathered to plan the wedding. A knot tightened in her stomach as she approached them. As she walked, the sound of distant traffic faded, replaced by the pounding of her heart. "Lily, there you are," her mother called out, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "We were just discussing the final touches for the wedding." "Can we talk?" Lily said, her voice steady despite the anxiety churning inside her. Mark looked up from his phone, a knowing smirk on his face. "Oh, what's this? The artist has something to say?" Lily's pulse quickened, but she pushed through the jab. "I'm not serving at the wedding. I'm not a servant. I'm your dar, and I deserve to be part of this as a guest, not an employee." Rachel scoffed, her eyes narrowing. "Oh, please, Lily, it's just a little fun. We all know you like to paint, but you can help out too." Lily felt a surge of anger rise within her. "This isn't fun for me. I'm tired of being treated like I'm not enough. I want to be part of this family, but on my own terms. I can't believe you all think this is okay." The laughter around her faded, replaced by a heavy silence. For the first time, she felt seen, not as a servant, but as Lily. In that moment, something shifted. The air seemed lighter, the sun brighter, and she could almost hear Agnes's words echoing in her mind. Lily had taken the first step toward reclaiming her life, and it felt exhilarating. "Lily, her mother began, but Lily held up her hand. "No more. It's my turn now. I'm going to paint my own future, not just fill in the lines you've drawn for me." As she walked away, she felt a sense of hope wash over her, a promise to herself that she would no longer be invisible. Lily took a deep breath. "We need to have a serious conversation." Mark tensed up. "About what exactly?" As the morning light streamed through the kitchen window, casting a warm glow over the chaos of wedding preparations, Lily felt an unsettling heaviness in her chest. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee lingered in the air, mingling with the sweet scent of apple pie cooling on the counter. Her family bustled around her, laughter echoing off the walls. But to Lily, it felt like she was trapped behind a glass barrier, invisible and alone. "Lily, can you help me with the centerpieces?" her mother called out, her back turned as she arranged flowers in a vase. The question seemed innocent enough, but it felt like a trap. "Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening," Lily whispered to herself, the sting of humiliation still fresh. Today was supposed to be a celebration, yet here she was, preparing to serve her family at her cousin's wedding instead of being a part of it. Taking a deep breath, Lily steeled herself and approached her parents, who were deep in conversation about the wedding plans. "Can we talk?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. The conversation stopped, and all eyes turned to her, the laughter fading into a heavy silence. "About what, dear?" her father asked, feigning innocence, but she could see the tension in his shoulders. "This plan you have for me to serve at the wedding?" Lily said, her heart racing. "I need you to understand how humiliating this is for me." Her mother shook her head, a dismissive wave of her hand. "It's tradition, Lily. It's about family values. You're being too sensitive." Lily felt her heart sink. Sensitive? This isn't about sensitivity. This is about respect. I've always put our family first, but it seems like I'm just a servant to you all. "Don't make this more dramatic than it is," Rachel chimed in, crossing her arms. "You're just being selfish. It's not all about you." The anger simmering inside Lily bubbled to the surface. "Selfish? I'm the one who's been overlooked and unappreciated. Maybe if you all paid attention, you'd see how talented I am beyond painting." She gestured to the canvases scattered around the kitchen, each one a vibrant expression of her emotions. "Lily, this is not the time for your art," her mother replied, irritation creeping into her voice. "We have a wedding to prepare for." Lily's brother, Noah, who had been quietly listening from the doorway, finally stepped forward. "I think Lily has a point. You all keep talking about tradition, but what about her feelings? She's an artist, not a maid." His voice was steady, a note of defiance that surprised even him. "Exactly," Lily exclaimed, feeling a flicker of hope. "I'm tired of being the invisible one in this family. I want to be included, not sidelined." Her parents exchanged uneasy glances, but Rachel rolled her eyes. "Oh, please, this is how it's always been. You're just jealous because you're not getting the attention you want." The words stung, but Lily refused to let them break her spirit. "You can all keep this tradition if you want, but I'm not going to be a part of it anymore." With that, she turned away, feeling a rush of determination. In the days that followed, the atmosphere in the house grew tense. As her family busied themselves with wedding preparations, Lily poured her frustration into her art. The kitchen became her sanctuary, where she could express her feelings through color and canvas. Distant traffic sounds drifted in through the open window, a reminder of the world outside her family's chaos. "Lily, can you help me with this?" Rachel called out one afternoon, holding up a stack of napkins. The request felt insincere, a thin veil over her jealousy. "Why don't you ask Mom? She's the one who thinks I'm here to serve," Lily snapped, her voice sharper than she intended. The words hung in the air like an accusation. David, her loyal friend, had come over to lend support. He leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, watching the tension unfold. "You know, you don't have to let them dictate your worth," he said quietly. "You're more than just what they see." "I know, but it's hard. I thought family would always support each other," Lily replied, frustration bubbling to the surface. "Sometimes family can be the most challenging," David said, his eyes meeting hers. "But that doesn't mean you have to accept their choices." Feeling the weight of her emotions, Lily took a deep breath. "You're right. It's time for me to reclaim my power, to stand up for myself." That night, as she sat in front of her easel, inspiration struck. She envisioned a piece that captured her struggle, vivid colors swirling together, a reflection of her chaotic emotions. It was a moment of clarity, a realization that her art could speak for her when words failed. On the day of the wedding, Lily decided to show up, not as a servant, but as an artist. She wore a beautiful dress that she had painted herself, each brushstroke a symbol of her journey. When her family saw her, their expressions shifted from surprise to confusion. "Lily, what are you doing?" her mother asked, incredulous. "I'm here to celebrate, not serve. This is who I am," she replied firmly. The room fell silent, her family's expectations hanging in the air like unspoken words. As she made her way through the crowd, she felt lighter, empowered. The weight of her family's traditions no longer held her back. In that moment, surrounded by laughter and music, Lily realized that she could forge her own path. She was not just a servant, she was an artist, a sister, and most importantly, she was herself. "I can't believe you did this," Lily exclaimed. Mark tried to explain, but words failed him. The smell of pancakes wafted through the kitchen, mingling with the scent of fresh rain on the pavement outside. Birds chirped cheerfully, a stark contrast to the tension simmering within the family gathering. Lily stood at the counter, her heart racing as she flipped a pancake, the golden brown surface a reflection of her internal struggle. She could feel the weight of her family's expectations pressing down on her, just like the heavy humidity that often followed a rainstorm. As she poured the last of the batter, preserved the original language of the conversation she had overheard earlier. Her parents had arranged for a local catering service to handle the bulk of the wedding preparations. The realization hit her like a cold splash of water. They never needed her as a servant. It was all about control, a way to keep her in her place, just a step above the hired help. David had noticed the change in her demeanor as she moved about the kitchen, his supportive presence a small comfort in the chaos. "You okay, Lily?" he asked, concern etched on his face. "I can't believe this," she replied, her voice a whisper tinged with disbelief. "They hired someone else to do everything. I thought they wanted me to be part of it." David shook his head. "You deserve better than this. You're not a servant. You're an artist." The words hung in the air, a challenge to the narrative she had been fed her whole life. But it wasn't just about her role in the family. It was about who she was. As the family meeting approached, the tension in the kitchen thickened. Lily felt the familiar sting of invisibility as her relatives bustled around her, ignoring her presence. Just then, her eyes caught a glimpse of a family heirloom tucked away on a shelf. A delicate brooch that once belonged to her grandmother, a woman known for defying societal norms. Its intricate design sparkled under the kitchen light, and for a moment, Lily felt a surge of strength wash over her. Holding the brooch, she recalled her grandmother's unwavering spirit. She would have never let this happen, Lily thought, clutching the heirloom tightly. The thought ignited a fire within her, a spark she couldn't ignore. When the family meeting began, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Lily took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the brooch in her pocket. "I have something to say," she announced, her voice steady despite the fluttering in her chest. Rachel rolled her eyes, clearly unimpressed. "What now? Are you going to complain about being underappreciated again?" "No, Rachel," Lily replied, raising her chin defiantly. "I'm here to show you my artwork, not to serve you." The room fell silent, the shock palpable. Her family exchanged glances, disbelief washing over their faces. "Oh my God, I can't believe this," Mark muttered, his charming facade slipping for a moment. Lily continued, her heart pounding with every word. "I've spent too long being the invisible one, the one who is expected to do everything without acknowledgement. I'm not a servant, I'm an artist, and I want to be part of this wedding in a way that reflects who I truly am." The silence that followed was deafening. Lily's heart sank as she braced for their reactions. She had never seen her family so stunned, and for a moment she feared she had crossed a line. But then David spoke up, his voice cutting through the tension. "Lily's right. This is her moment, and she deserves to shine." Lily felt a swell of gratitude towards her friend, his loyalty a lifeline in the storm of emotions swirling around her. Rachel, clearly agitated, snapped back, "And what? You think a few paintings are going to change anything? You think you're better than us?" "No," Lily replied, the strength of her convictions surprising even herself. "I just want to be seen for who I am. I want to be part of this wedding as an artist, not as an afterthought." Suddenly, everything shifted. The air grew heavier with the weight of unspoken words and hidden truths. In that moment, Lily realized that her family's perception of her wasn't just a reflection of her actions, it was a mirror of their own insecurities. The micro twist of her revelation hit hard. This was not merely about her role at the wedding, it was about breaking free from the chains of their expectations and reclaiming her identity. In the kitchen, it hurt like strength. She was ready to step into the light, leaving behind the shadows of servitude. As the meeting came to a close, Lily felt a sense of empowerment she had never known before. Her heart raced, not with fear, but with the thrill of possibility. She was ready to embrace her art, to let her voice be heard. And just like the rain that had washed over the pavement outside, she was ready for a fresh start. "Oh my God," Lily whispered in disbelief. "I can explain everything," Mark said desperately. Lily stood on the porch, the morning sun warming her skin as she inhaled the rich aroma of fresh coffee brewing inside the house. The sound of wind chimes danced softly in the breeze, a gentle reminder of the beauty that surrounded her, even in her turmoil. The events of the past few days weighed heavily on her heart, but with each sip of coffee, a new resolve began to brew. She could no longer be the invisible servant her family expected her to be. This wedding would be her moment to shine. "Maybe I could showcase my art during the wedding," she mused aloud, her voice barely above a whisper. The thought ignited a spark within her. It was time to turn the tables, to transform what had felt like a betrayal into an opportunity for empowerment. She envisioned a mural, one that told the story of their family, woven with the threads of their shared history and the vibrant colors of the wedding festivities. With newfound determination, Lily gathered her supplies, painting her vision on the canvas of her mind. She could see it clearly, a mural that reflected not just the wedding, but the essence of who they were as a family. As she began sketching the outlines, her parents came out onto the porch, drawn by her focused energy. "What are you up to, Lily?" her mother asked, a hint of curiosity in her tone. "I'm planning to create a mural for the wedding," Lily replied, her voice steady. "It'll be a centerpiece, something that showcases our family story. I want everyone to see it." Her mother exchanged a glance with her father, a mixture of surprise and skepticism flickering across their faces. "A mural? At the wedding?" her father questioned. "But you were just going to help with the centerpieces." "I was going to be more than just a helper," Lily asserted, her heart racing with conviction. "This is my chance to redefine my role. I want to be celebrated, not sidelined." "Oh my God, I can't believe this," her mother said, her expression softening as she took in Lily's passion. "It sounds like a wonderful idea, honey. Let's see how we can make it happen." As the days unfolded, Lily lost herself in the process of creating the mural. Each brushstroke was a revelation, a reclaiming of her identity. She incorporated elements from the wedding, the flowers, the colors, the love stories of her family members, all intertwined with her own artistic vision. The smell of fresh paint mingled with the morning coffee, a sensory reminder of her determination to break free from being just a background figure. Reflecting on her journey, Lily realized how much she had grown. No longer would she allow herself to be overshadowed by Rachel's jealousy or Mark's deceit. She had the power to assert her independence and carve out her own space in their family narrative. She paused, brush hovering over the canvas, as memories flooded back. The times she felt unappreciated, the moments she had been overlooked. Reflection, that moment at the porch changed everything. This mural wasn't just about the wedding, it was a symbol of her reclaiming her strength. On the day of the wedding, the sun shone brightly, illuminating the garden where the ceremony was to take place. Guests arrived, and the air buzzed with excitement. Lily stood back, observing her family as they admired her mural, the vibrant colors reflecting the love and laughter of their shared experiences. "Lily, this is incredible," David exclaimed, his eyes wide with admiration. "You've really captured our family spirit." "Thanks, David," she replied, her heart swelling with pride. "I wanted to show them who we are, not just what they expected me to be." Rachel approached, her expression unreadable. "I never thought you could pull this off," she admitted, her voice laced with a hint of begrudging respect. "You've always been in the shadows, but you've really stepped into the light." Lily felt a rush of triumph at her sister's words. "I won't be in the shadows anymore, Rachel," she said firmly. "I'm embracing my place in this family, and it's time for everyone to see that." As the wedding ceremony began, Lily stood by the mural, surrounded by her family, feeling a profound sense of belonging. She had transformed the pain of her past into a celebration of her present. The moment felt surreal, almost magical. She had taken charge, turned the plan upside down, and in doing so, had found herself. Just as the first notes of the wedding march began to play, preserve the original language of the text. It was a new beginning for her, a true celebration of family and identity. Lily clenched her fists. "I don't want to hear any more excuses." Mark hung his head. "I'm truly sorry." Lily clenched her fists. "I don't want to hear any more excuses." Mark hung his head. "I'm truly sorry." His voice was barely above a whisper, but the weight of his regret hung in the air like the scent of fresh grass after a summer rain. The wind chimes tinkled softly in the breeze, a soothing backdrop to the tension that crackled between them. "You've hurt me for so long, Mark," she said, her voice steady despite the storm brewing inside her. "You don't get to apologize and expect everything to go back to normal. It's time to face the consequences of your actions." "I know," he replied, his eyes pleading for understanding. "I've messed up, but can't we just enjoy today? This is your moment, Lily." As she glanced at the mural, vibrant and alive with colors that spoke of her journey, she felt a surge of clarity. "This moment is built on the truth," she said, her voice firm. "If you want to be part of it, you need to own your mistakes." The guests were beginning to gather, their laughter and chatter a distant hum. The sun cast a golden hue over the garden, illuminating the petals of the flowers that danced in the breeze. Lily felt a flutter of nerves, but she pushed them aside, focusing on the love that surrounded her. "Look, I get it," Mark said, stepping closer, "but can't we just focus on the celebration? I want to be there for you. I want to support you." "Support comes with honesty," she countered, feeling the heat of determination rise within her. "You've been a part of the problem for too long. It's time for you to step up, not just for me, but for yourself." Mark sighed, clearly struggling with the weight of her words. "What do you want me to do?" "Be honest, be present, and show up for our family," she said, her heart racing as she glanced at the guests mingling near the mural. "This is about all of us, and I want to be proud of who stands beside me." The moment hung between them, heavy with unspoken words, and Lily could feel the tension begin to dissipate as Mark nodded slowly. "Okay, I'll try, I promise." As the first notes of the wedding march began to play, Lily took a deep breath, allowing the music to wash over her. She stepped away from Mark, her heart lighter, ready to embrace the love and joy that awaited her. Today was not just about a wedding, it was about forging new connections, healing old wounds, and celebrating the beauty of family, her family. As the morning sun peeked through the clouds, casting a warm glow over the porch, Lily stood before her mural, her heart racing. The air was thick with the scent of fresh coffee brewing in the kitchen, mingling with the earthy aroma of rain-soaked pavement. She could hear the gentle chime of wind chimes swaying in the breeze, but the sound did little to ease her tension. Today was the day, her family's wedding celebration, but it felt like a battlefield. Lily had poured herself into this mural, each stroke a testament to her love for her family. But today, they were all focused on the hired help, oblivious to the artistry she had created. As she stepped back to survey her work, Rachel burst onto the porch, her expression a mix of annoyance and disbelief. "Are you really going to waste your time on that when we have guests arriving?" Rachel snapped, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Oh my God, you're such a drama queen." Lily clenched her jaw, a familiar sting of hurt creeping in. "This is for the family, Rachel. Can't you see that?" "Yeah, right, as if anyone cares about your little art project." Rachel rolled her eyes and sauntered back inside, leaving Lily feeling more invisible than ever. Taking a deep breath, Lily focused on the mural again, trying to drown out the chaos inside. She felt a rush of determination surge through her. This was her moment to shine. David had always told her to reclaim her power, and today she would do just that. As the ceremony began, she could see her family gathered, dressed in their finest, a whirlwind of excitement and chatter. But as they took their seats, a wave of anxiety washed over her. Her parents were still oblivious to her art, too caught up in their expectations of who should serve and who should be served. "Lily, are you ready?" her mother called, gesturing her to hurry. "The guests will be here any minute." My heart sank, Lily thought, but she steadied herself and stepped forward, taking center stage. With a deep breath, she unveiled her mural, the vibrant colors bursting forth like a sunrise. A hush fell over the crowd as they absorbed the intricate details, the family stories woven into the canvas. Preserve the original language of her mother's eyes widened in disbelief, and her father's mouth fell open. "What is this?" her father asked, clearly taken aback. "It's our story," Lily replied, her voice steady. "All the moments that matter, all the love we've shared. I wanted to show you that I'm more than just someone to help serve at this wedding." Mark, who had been mingling with the guests, approached with a frown. "Lily, this isn't the time for your art. People are here to celebrate." "Really?" she shot back, her frustration boiling over. "You think they came just to see you? This is about family, and this is what I contribute. My art is part of me." "Oh my God, I can't believe this," Rachel chimed in, her voice sharp. "You think this is about you? It's not. It's a wedding." Lily felt the anger bubbling up inside her, but then she caught a glimpse of her mural again. It was more than just paint on canvas. It was a reflection of her journey, her struggles, and her triumphs. She took a step forward, eyes blazing. "Maybe that's the problem," she said, her voice rising above the murmurs. "You all see me as just a servant, but I'm not. I've always put you first, and I'm done feeling invisible." The tension hung thick in the air, and as the guests murmured amongst themselves, Lily saw the moment they began to understand. The depth of her work was hitting home, forcing her family to confront their own perceptions. "Lily, Mark started, but she cut him off. "No more excuses. You betrayed my trust once, and I won't let you define me anymore." Just then, a gust of wind blew through the porch, sending a shiver down her spine. It felt like a cleansing, washing away the bitterness that had clouded her heart. Rachel crossed her arms, clearly struggling with her own jealousy. "Fine, but this isn't what the family expected. This isn't how we do things." "Then maybe it's time for a change," David said, stepping forward to stand beside her. "Lily's right. This is her moment, and you all need to wake up to the person she really is." The guests began to clap, their applause building, and Lily felt a rush of warmth surge through her. For the first time, she could see the shift in her family's demeanor. In that moment, Lily realized that this wasn't just about her art. It was about asserting her identity. "I'm proud of who I am, and I won't hide anymore," she declared, her voice ringing clear. The wind chimes continued to dance in the breeze, a gentle reminder that change was in the air. As the festivities began, she felt a newfound strength, knowing she had finally taken her place, not as a servant, but as an artist, a daughter, and a force to be reckoned with. "Enough!" Lily shouted, her voice echoing. "Please, let me speak," Mark pleaded. "There's nothing left to say," Lily finalized. As the last strains of music faded and the final guests departed, the backyard was filled with the soft rustle of leaves and the gentle tinkling of wind chimes. The air was heavy with the scent of freshly cut grass, mixed with the sweet aroma of apple pie cooling on the table. Lily stood quietly, surveying the remnants of her cousin's wedding, a celebration that had transformed into something profoundly personal for her. Instead of feeling like an invisible servant, she had been celebrated as an artist.
Her mural, vibrant and full of life, had captivated not just her family, but everyone present. It had told their story, a blend of laughter, tears, and the complex fabric of their shared history. As her heart swelled with pride, she could still hear the echoes of surprise in her family's voices, the way they marveled at her work. "Oh my God, Lily, I can't believe you did this!" Rachel had exclaimed, her jealousy momentarily eclipsed by genuine admiration. For the first time, Lily felt seen. Mark had approached her later, his charming smile a facade that no longer held power over her. "You really outdid yourself," he said, but there was an edge to his voice, a hint of disapproval that she refused to acknowledge. Lily turned to him, her expression steady. "This is who I am, not just someone to serve or be overlooked." She could see the gears turning in his mind, calculating how to regain control, but she had already reclaimed her narrative. As the sun dipped lower, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Lily gathered her family around her mural. "I want us to talk," she began, her voice steady but soft, "about what we've all been through and how we can support each other moving forward." David stepped forward, his loyal presence grounding her. "It's about time we had this conversation," he said. His eyes sparkled with encouragement, and Lily felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. In that moment, as the wind whispered through the trees, they began to share their fears and hopes. Rachel spoke first, her voice trembling. "I've always felt overshadowed by you, Lily. I didn't know how to express it." "That's not what family should be about," Lily replied, her heart aching for her sister. "We should lift each other up, not tear each other down." The conversation flowed like the gentle breeze, each revelation leading to deeper understanding. They spoke of their dreams, their insecurities, and the pressures that had weighed heavily on them. The tension that had once suffocated their gatherings began to dissipate, replaced by a warmth that felt like home. Cultural reflection. In the backyard, it hurt like betrayal, yet it became the foundation for healing. As the stars began to twinkle above, Lily felt a renewed sense of purpose and connection. She had not only changed her own narrative, but had sparked a change within her family. They were no longer just the roles they had played. They were individuals, each with their own dreams and aspirations. "Can we promise to be better?" Rachel asked, vulnerability etched on her face. "Absolutely," Lily replied, her heart swelling with hope. "Let's support each other, no matter what." But as they embraced, a sudden thought struck Lily. What if she had not intervened? What if she had accepted her role as a servant at the wedding? The idea sent a shiver down her spine. She had taken a risk, and it had paid off, but the road to this moment had been paved with pain and betrayal. Thought. The smell of apple pie brought painful memories, yet it also reminded her of sweet beginnings. As the last of the guests drove away, Lily stood in the backyard, taking in the scene once more. The air was filled with laughter, but it was different now, lighter, freer. She realized that the narrative of her life was hers to write, and she would fill it with colors of her choosing. With the moon casting a gentle glow, she whispered to the night, "This is just the beginning." And you, on your porch, how will you change the narrative for yourself? Lily took a deep breath, her heart still racing from the emotional release they had all shared. The night air felt cool against her skin, a gentle reminder of the warmth that had enveloped them just moments before. As she glanced at the mural, illuminated softly by the hanging fairy lights, she couldn't help but feel a surge of pride wash over her. Each brushstroke had represented a piece of her soul, and now it was a shared tapestry of their lives. "Can we do this more often?" David asked, breaking the comfortable silence. His voice was earnest, filled with the sincerity that had always made him the anchor of their family. Lily nodded, her fingers brushing against the wooden table. "Absolutely. We need to create space for these conversations. We can't just wait for big events to come together." Rachel shifted beside her, the tension in her shoulders easing.
Maybe we could start a family tradition? A monthly dinner where we share what's going on in our lives? No judgment, just support. I love that idea, Lily said, her excitement bubbling to the surface. We could even have themes. Each dinner could revolve around a different topic: dreams, fears, or even just fun memories. As they brainstormed, the faint sound of distant traffic blended with the soft rustling of leaves. The wind chimes chimed in harmony, creating a serene backdrop to their newfound camaraderie. Lily's heart fluttered with the possibilities of what lay ahead. "Lily," Rachel said, her tone shifting to something more serious, "I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I've been selfish, and I see that now. You deserve all the recognition for your art. I don't want to compete with you anymore." Lily felt a warmth spread through her chest. "Thank you, Rachel. That means more than you know. I want to support you too. We all have our paths, and they can intersect beautifully." In that moment, under the blanket of stars, Lily felt the weight of the past lift. The shadows of betrayal and resentment began to fade, replaced by a bright tapestry of understanding and love. She was no longer just a spectator in her family's story. She was a co-author, shaping their narrative together. "Let's make a pact," Lily proposed, excitement coursing through her, "to always keep the lines of communication open, no matter how hard it gets." "Deal," they all agreed, clasping hands together in a circle, sealing their commitment. As the moonlight bathed them in a silvery glow, Lily smiled, her heart full. This was her family, not just by blood, but by choice, and she was ready to embrace the future they would create together.